In Hanoi, we've decided that the way we want to explore the city is to do another DIY food tour. So we are checked out of the hotel and we are just about to jump in a cab and head back to the airport, and hopefully we can safely recover Bob.
Bob is free! Woohoo! So we're ready to board our flight to Hanoi. Alex is super grumpy because we couldn't go in the lounge, but hopefully our flight should be here soon. So we've arrived in Hanoi. Alex's bag's out, just waiting for mine, and then we're going to head to our Airbnb. So yesterday we flew from Myanmar to Vietnam, and we're in Hanoi.
So in Hanoi, we've decided that the way we want to explore the city is to do another DIY food tour. We've listed out a whole bunch of things that we want to try, and number one is breakfast Phờ Bò. So we arrived at the first place that I'd rented a great Phờ Bò, but when we've arrived, there seems to be just Bun Nambo, which is beef noodle salad on the menu. So instead of having Phờ Bò, we're going to have the beef noodle salad. And we've also ordered these things, which are goi, a pork rack. I don't know what we'll find inside, but I had to check it out because I've never seen it before. So the pork roll is like finely minced pork that I think is then steamed in what's probably a banana leaf. It has a very firm, springy texture. It doesn't have like a huge pork flavour. It tastes like not very seasoned sausage, but dipped in the chili sauce is amazing. This is a seriously good bowl of noodles. There's so much going on with like basil, sawtooth basil, crunchy onions, peanut, bean sprouts, there's other vegetables on here. The beef is like super tender, and it's got just a little drizzle of a broth on it. It's like really rich beef flavour. It's really good bowl of noodles. I'm very happy.
So if that's a sign of things to come, I am super excited about being in Vietnam.
So we've walked off our breakfast. I've basically dragged Jem to Von Duc Street, which is like second-hand and new camera shops all on one street. It's not quite as much stock there as I was expecting, but we did end up buying another lens. Nothing too exciting, just something a little bit wider for this camera that Jem is using at the moment. So now I need to treat her with ice cream, and I've looked up a place. This also comes recommended from Mark Wiens. I can't remember what it's called, I need to check my Google Maps, but we're going to go over there now. So I think we've had a slight miscommunication. We were trying to say that we would like to sit down and choose some flavours of ice cream, and then we've sat down and just had 2 cups of 3 scoops of ice cream dumped in front of us. So we have no clue what flavour they are. I'm not sure this is even what we wanted, but we feel completely under pressure. So we're just going to try these and see how they are.
The ice cream was really nice.
I completely forgot about the bit which Mark Queen said. It was like a motorcycle drive-through ice cream shop. So when we kind of walk in and try and sit down,
we felt a bit rushed.
Yeah, it was not. Anyway, it was nice ice cream, but not quite the ice cream experience that we were looking for.
So Hanoi's really nice. It's really busy like every other city we've been to in Asia, but has this really nice lake in the centre that we're just walking alongside.
Lunch stop number 1, because we'll probably have like 2 lunches today, is banh mi. So banh mi is basically bread rolls filled with stuff. It's like French bread though, because there's a huge amount of French history in Vietnam.
You want spicy?
ordered mixed banh mi, which is French bread. It's got like sliced cold meats in it, and what describes itself as pate, but the pate is actually, it's more like a slow cooked meat, so it's all soft and warm, and then they spread it through, which is really nice with the crispy bread and some fresh coriander, a little bit of chili in it, and some crispy onions. It makes a really good snack.
After 5 months, our quest to find waterproof backpack covers has finally succeeded. Hanoi, yes.
Next stop for lunch is Xôi, which I think is pronounced Xôi, which is sticky rice with meat and savoury stuff, maybe egg. So thankfully we've had some help, and we now know that you need to pick your type of rice and then your topping. So we've picked steamed glutinous rice, sticky rice with saffron, and then we have it topped with Chinese braised pork, but there's loads of stuff on here, like beef dumplings, omelette, roasted cinnamon pork. There's tons of stuff that you could have. So we got chatting to a guy that we just met who was a very nice chap called Gaz. He's given us some really good tips for some other places we need to hit, so thank you, Gareth, if you're ever watching our vlogs. Unfortunately, it meant we got really chatty and didn't really film much in there. Xôi was really good, but would I pick it over, say, a decent bowl of noodles? I think I'm a noodle lover, so I'd probably still pick the noodle dishes over the top. Now we're going to try and get something that Hanoi is massively famous for, which is an egg coffee.
So we've come to Cafe Trang to try what should be the original egg coffee. When I typed this into Google Maps, there were several hits, but we're pretty sure that this is the original one.
Like frothy egg custard. Apparently this was developed when there was a shortage of milk, so they found a way to whisk the eggs and make a egg coffee. It tastes very eggy, which I'm quite surprised by. It's sort of like got an omelette flavour, but I haven't mixed it all into my coffee.
So I don't like coffee, so I went for an egg chocolate. I mixed mine before I drank it. I don't think it tastes eggy at all. I think it tastes light and fluffy. It's like having like a whipped meringue on top of a hot chocolate. It's great.
Thick and rich. The coffee's awesome too.
Really nice.
Okay, so let me clarify. I get really egged out really quickly because I'm not a massive fan of eggs. So when I tasted the foam, yes, I could taste the eggs. It wasn't really like an omelette. Once it was mixed with the coffee, it was amazing. It was a really good, like, rich, frothy coffee. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So next stop on our food tour is Bun Cha Ta, which is a place serving bun cha, which is apparently a very famous grilled pork and noodle dish that originated in Hanoi. So this is another awesome bowl of Vietnamese food. Bun Cha Ta. I think it's like minced pork balls that are then barbecued and then put into a broth, and you have it with cold noodles and a bowl of green herbs, so that you can then pick the green herbs and your noodles, dip into the broth with the pork. It's delicious.
So Gaz, who we met earlier, told us about another coffee shop which has slightly unique aspect to it. So we're heading there now. So we've got our drinks, and because we're in the Note coffee shop, they come with a little note.
Oh my god, I hadn't
The whole place is decorated with these notes that customers have written and stuck on the walls. It is probably the most unique coffee shop I've ever been to. I love it. So we've had a change. We've got some warm clothes on.
Because it's a little cool.
And we're gonna head out for one last thing, because we didn't think our food tour would be complete
Without Phờ Bò.
we're gonna go to a place we actually wanted to go for breakfast, but it was shut.
Only does beef noodles. Apparently it's quite famous.
I think it's like the oldest pho place in Hanoi.
Yeah. So I think we found it. I've got no idea how you pronounce it. Phở Tien? I don't know, but there's a queue out the door and some plastic seats. This broth might look quite thin and colourless, but it is absolutely packed with like rich beef flavour. It just tastes so good. And then there's like fresh coriander in there. You can add a bit of heat and a bit of acidity through the vinegar. And the beef is like ridiculously tender. I just cooked. I think it's been like slow cooked and then sliced and then reheated in the broth. It's an awesome bowl of noodles.
These are basically savoury donuts dipped in soup. Tasty.
Wow, that was a bit crazy. The line out the door and then you just have to like grab a seat and share tables with anyone. There's no kind of table service or anything. It's an awesome bowl of noodles. I noticed that it was really difficult to talk about it in there, but there's three things I love about this. The two different types of beef. So one was already like roasted and then added to the broth, and there was another one which looks paler inside the broth, but it was actually raw, lean steak that was cooked by the broth as they spoon it over the top. So that gave you two like completely different kinds of beef, along with the like savoury donut for dipping in the broth, and all the herbs and stuff. It's just a really, really good bowl of noodles.
Bia Hoi Corner. Unfortunately, we might be a little bit too late for the Bia Hoi, but we're going to try and hunt some out. Bia Hoi Corner is more like party bar street, and no one has any Bia Hoi left. We did pass somewhere earlier that's a little bit less touristy, so we're going to head back there and see if there's any left.
Sit on the microplastic chair and have the Vietnamese guy shout at you, "Tupia!" Yes, please.
Leave tourist street and come to local street, then you can still get Bia Hoi at 9:30.
That is really, really delicious. It's awesome. It doesn't taste very strong, but it tastes really refreshing. Especially when you've been walking around all night looking for it. I don't think we mentioned what Bia Hoi is, but it's a fresh beer, so it hasn't been aged and matured quite as long as other beers. So it's not that strong, and it's actually very cheap, but it's really tasty and very refreshing. It's very nice. Hanoi's famous for it, and I think being miles away from Bia Hoi Corner, it might end up being cheaper. So we're back at our Airbnb. We completely forgot to record kind of an ending earlier on, but I have had an awesome time in Hanoi. I think it's probably my favourite Asian city so far. I guess I just really click with Vietnamese food. We ate so much of it today, I found it amazing. I would love to be spending a bit longer here, because I reckon you could spend weeks exploring this city and still not sample every little dish and type of food that they have on offer. It's awesome, I've loved it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.
So the ice cream.
The loudest motorbike in the world.
So far, I really like. Really, really good. I just said really nice, really good.
Maybe pick some more stacks. Maybe pick some more stacks. More stacks.
We did pass